When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We are at the iconic track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Tech4Troops Indy 225. I am Rick Souza here with the IWM broadcast team with my co-broadcaster, John Durdris. And John, this is, NASCAR has not been back to the track. Looking forward to seeing these guys out here.
Oh, no, it's awesome to be back here at Indy, and it's one of my favorite tracks. It's actually one of my first ever iRacing races that I've ever ran was at Indianapolis in the what then was the Cup Cars, and it was the first ever full race length race that I've ever ran when they used to do the Brickyard 400 many years ago. So I'm excited for this track. It's good to see these cars back. I wish they would go back to this track because it's so historic. But yeah, it's going to be a great night of racing here. It looks like we have some guys already making their way onto the track for qualifying. Ian Ogden right now at the top of the board with Jeff Nairn. No surprise up there in second. You have Vaughn, Ward, and Barletta, your current top five. So, Rick, I think it's going to be a challenge for these guys tonight because they don't come here. The Cup Series just doesn't make their way to the Indianapolis Oval, or I guess rectangle, if you want to consider it. But it'll be interesting to see how everybody performs.
Yeah, this is a very unique track. It's not your typical oval or tri-oval or D-shaped track. It's a giant rectangle with four very similar corners, and the speeds can just get huge here.
They can, especially when you're coming out of four and coming out of two. You are going to be getting the draft of the car in front of you, and we may see some three-wide or possibly four-wide action here at Indy, which is not atypical. I mean, we've seen what can happen in the Indy 500. We see what can happen, obviously, here in the Cup Series. So we'll see what those drivers are able to do as this race progresses. Looks like we have about 30 seconds left of qualifying right now, so Ty Bostic trying to make it back around. Don't know if he's going to be able to make it. He has about 15 seconds to go. It's going to be pretty close to see what he's able to do at the top of the line. I hope he decides to drop down and maybe get some pit road practice.
All right, so we've got a total of 33 entries. I think we've only got, not everybody has made it through or qualified. I think John Ledger was the last one, and that's going to wrap up qualifying. We've got 34 entries officially on the track. So while we're waiting for them to grid up, let's quickly cover the race info for tonight.
Alrighty, so tonight we have a fairly mild track and not too hot, so 90 laps here at Indy should be pretty good. 60% fuel, of course, 1 fast repair and 4 sets of new tires in the pits, 3 green, white checkers, and we're also going to be giving away the Tech4Troops Scheme Skirmish Award as well as the ONR Pole Award, which is going to go to, if I'm not mistaken, is that Ian Ogden?
It is Ian Ogden.
Ian Ogden. Ian Ogden on the pole, so he wins your ONR Pole Award here tonight. So looking forward to that. Let's bring up the starting lineup though, Rick. I'll let you take it away before we get this race underway.
All right, so our grid for tonight starts with Mr. Ian Ogden in the 21 on the pole. To his outside, Jeff Nairn in the 27. Jesse Vaughn back behind Ian Ogden in the 84. Luke Bullard in 4th. In the 3, Zach Ward is in 5th. In the 7, Harley Barletta is in 6th. In the 81, Sean Schuitman in the 37 is in 7th. John Ledger in 8th. Kane Vandermark in 9th. And Alonzo King is in 10th.
In 11th, you have Ty Bostic, another MB2 Motorsport driver, with Ryan Pittman in 12th. Starting in 13th, you have Philip Vandertwick. And 14th to his outside, Colin Garrett. To the 15th position is Mark Hanna with Clayman Jr. lining up to his outside. David Clayman starting in P17 with Grant Altizer starting in 18th. Evan Amick rounds out your 19th position, and Jacob Walker coming back here in the 20th spot.
In 21st, Joey Doucette, and 22nd, Jeff Nene. 23rd, Bobby Gibson, and 24th is Pete Woodrum. 25th is Dan Withers, and 26th, Charles Van Scoik. 27th, Semi Harrell. To his outside, the 24 of Zach Allen. Christoph Hall is in 29th, and Maurice Burdett in 30th. Our last 2 rows is Cody Sturgill, and 32nd is Austin Habel. 33rd is David Watts, and 34th is David Overstreet.
Rick, it's going to be an exciting one. While we're at it, let's go ahead and bring up my keys to tonight's Tech4Troops Indy race here under this very cloudy condition. You know, let's talk about that really quick though. It's very cloudy, which means it should be a lot of grip here tonight on the track. But number one, as always, the key to the race is going to be conserving the tires. You have to conserve the tires. It's a track that we don't go to. I think it's going to be even more important to do that. Number 2, pit strategy under green flag conditions, getting on and getting off pit road, or just pitting on a caution flag. It's going to be a very tight pit road. And then 3rd, places to pass. It's going to be a very difficult place to pass.
Yeah, so there are a lot of places that on this track that scare me as a driver. Especially with 34 entries coming down to the start-finish line on not only this but any restarts. It's turn 1. Turn 1 with 2 and 3 wide on a restart, just that puts the fear in God in you.
It definitely does, and it's going to be something that these drivers have not experienced yet, simply because, like I said, they do not go to this track. So turn 1's going to be, I think, slightly treacherous for the first couple laps. So once they get that field underway, I think the nerves will settle out and we'll have a pretty good race.
All right, we're making our way around.
Pace car has dropped down. They're about to enter what should be the Geico restart zone, but I don't even know if they have it here at this track. And let's see, I believe green flag is about to be out. Green flag in the air here at the Tech4Troops Indy 225. And here they go, diving into turn 1. Looks like Jesse Vaughn's already trying to contest on that inside line as the field somewhat spans out here, but here comes Jeff Nairn on the outside. Now, this is what I'd be very curious about. That third car in line is Luke Bullard. Let's see if he gets a big draft down the backstretch, and if he tries to make a move right now on that 84 machine. He does go to the outside.
Because a draft definitely plays a part, especially at this track.
It does, and it seems like right now that you're able to, even in these cars, you're able to grip the track fairly well. Obviously, there's going to be cars sliding throughout the entire field, of course, but it seems like the cars will stay grounded fairly well. So we'll see
Rick
how
in the
that
back.
plays out. We're wrecking, and no caution.
I think
Something happened there.
Yeah, I think that's Cody Sturgill. I think he spun. I think he's got some major toe link damage.
He does. His right front is completely bent in. Unfortunate there, but it's still early. We may get a caution, and he'll be able to get that lap back and whatnot. Let's go back up to the front, though, Rick. Looks like the battle for the lead is picking up just a little bit with Ian Ogden and Nairn and Bullard. You have some NV2 drivers already up to the front. This is where Jeff Nairn can possibly get that first win of the season. We'll see if he's able to do it. He may get a run out of 4 right here. We'll see as he makes his way down to the start-finish line. It's definitely going to be an interesting race because of the long straightaways.
The 40 of Jeff Needy tapped the safer barrier. Jeff's running back there in 25th.
And right now, everybody's just kind of minding their P's and Q's. Nobody's trying to make any drastic moves. The field's almost single file throughout the entire field. And we have a big line of cars in this main draft. Everybody just pulling a draft off of each other and nobody really gaining an advantage.
Looking back through the field, just kind of watching, see what's happening. We're seeing a little bit of, folks contesting for position. That's Evan Amick, and that is Jacob Walker there. Further on back, there's the 28 of Bobby Gibson.
See a little bit of battling going on here further on back, but the leaders so far are nose to tail. Those are about 7 or 8 cars all lined up in a line. We may have a move coming out of turn 2 though that may be no move yet. There's a lap car there.
Yeah, that's Cody Sturgill, who was involved in that earlier incident. So
yep, he's going to take the preferred line away from these leaders, which is going to definitely skew some things up right now. He is off pace. We'll see what happens as the second and third place cars of Bullard and Vaughn try to get to his back doorstep.
Yeah, he's definitely got to get. That's
Vaughn to the wall.
84 of Jesse Vaughn back there who tagged that wall.
Definitely not what you want to do here, especially with how important aero is and toe is. You don't want to mess up that toe link and damage that because that'll definitely skew how your vehicle will drive. Now, as we talk, it looks like Jeff Nairn is tagged the wall just a little bit coming out of turn 2. Lost slight ground on the 21 of Ogden, but still able to hold true. So let's really quickly run through your top 10 right now as it stands. There is Ian Ogden in P1, Jeff Nairn in second, Luke Bullard in third, with Harley Barletta in fourth, Jesse Vaughn in fifth, Ward in sixth, Skypman in seventh, King in eighth, Ledger in ninth, and Bostic in 10th. Looks like a pass for possibly fourth here. We'll see if Bullard. Well, actually, no, that's a lap down car right there in front of Bullard. So no passes to be made on a car that is on the lead lap. So Rick, we are 6 laps in, and so far we've gotten a fairly spread out field.
We sure have, and so we're trying to do our best to. This is a very interesting track to cover with cameras. We'll do our best to try and bring you as much action as we can because of the size of it, but bear with us. We'll take you back to the field momentarily, see if you can spot your favorite driver.
Ian Ogden doing a great job out front already.
Yeah, so a couple of things here, John. When do we begin to feel that we're going to see some tire fall off significantly?
Well, you see, it's hard when it comes to a track like Indy because we don't go here often. It's a big track. It's over 2 miles long, of course, so it's going to be a little bit more wear than a typical mile and a half. On a mile and a half, you're typically seeing wear around lap 12 to 15. So at a track like this, you're probably seeing it a little bit sooner. You're probably going to see it about lap 10. You'll start to see some of these times fall off. Right there, David Clayman set the fastest lap of the race with 52.259. And some of the leaders are running 52.6s, 52.5s, 52.6. So we'll see. That obviously played a major factor probably in the draft, but we'll see what happens. As it looks like, is that the lap down car of Sturgill trying to get his lap back?
It does. I was pretty certain he had a toe link issue, but he is keeping up.
He's fast too. He's only 1 lap down, so this is going to be a battle for that lap to get back. Now, looking at previous lap times by the leaders, you're looking at 52.6, 53 flat for second place of Naren, 53.5.
Cody, hey, just as a note, Cody Sturgill ran the fastest lap of 52.23.
That's incredible. That is fast. Obviously that's definitely in the draft. He's getting a tow right now. Let's see if he makes a move on the leader. It's going to be very interesting to see what he does here. He's pulling right up to the back bumper. He backs off big time. Maybe trying to get a run coming out of 3. I try to set up a move coming out of 4. We'll see.
Man, I think it may just be good just to hang on the tail of the leader. He'll get his lap back next time caution comes out. So
yeah, he's running up there. He's running fairly consistent time. So I have no issue with it as long as he can keep pace and he's not affecting any of the other cars. I say keep on doing what you're doing. Looking at through some lap times, we just ran a 52.1 was Charles Van Scoik, which is the fastest lap of the race. So obviously we are about 8 to 9 laps in right now. So we'll see how this track wears and how the tires wear as this race goes on. But as it stands, no big movers up through the top 10 so far. The biggest mover of the race has been Charles Van Scoik and at 9 positions, and Sammy Harrell at 9 positions, as well as Austin Habel at +8. So some big movers on back, but it looks like, and there's teammates right there, obviously. So we have the 2 purple people eater cars out there. Obviously, it's the diecast company. It's Go Diecast, but they're always running together. There's the other one, 2 cars in front of them. So they always seem to do very well as a team, and they're able to stay consistently methodically moving their way through the field. So we'll see how those 2 cars play out. But Rick, it's been fairly quiet.
it sure has. Of course, we're just waiting for something else to happen. So you got that 48 of Philip Vanderwyck, who's right there in front of them. You saw him last week in that 48. They've got Joey Doucette kind of minding and kind of working his way around there, sitting back in 15th.
Yeah, he's sitting back there in 15th, and he's already trying to figure out a way to win. Doucette has not gotten a win this season. In the regular season, he did win the All-Star race, but doesn't count for any playoff positioning. So he needs a win. Ian Ogden, let's talk about him a little bit. Up in P1 with Barletta, Naren needs a win. Ward needs a win. Vaughn needs a win. So a couple of these drivers really need a strong showing tonight. So we'll see what Joey Doucette's able to do. Already up +6 though on the race so far. But Rick, let me tell you something. I hope I don't jinx the field here, but we just broke a trend. We broke our 10-lap trend for cautions, Rick. So already showing out to be a great race so far. And as it stands, nothing really kind of crazy going on. You have a battle, I believe that is for 5th place. Right now, you have a side-by-side battle coming out of the corner.
Yep, that's
for
Alonso King.
Yeah. Alonso needs a big bounce back from last week. Last week was just tremendously bad for Alonso. It was probably one of the worst weeks that he's ever had. So a good week here. Obviously, he's locked in, but a good week here would be essential.
You've got the 20 of Jacob Walker, who's making a pit stop, maybe for an adjustment.
Yeah, interesting. He may try to go off cycle a little bit. That, in a race like this, could be, actually, no, I take that back. He has disconnected on my end. So he is not in the race as we speak. So yeah, he is out of the race so far. So there is that driver there. Looks like a little bit of a battle up front. It looks like side by side is the lap down car of Sturgill and the leader of Ogden. Want to pay attention to this, because what is this going to do for the second place driver of Mr. Barletta now? Is he going to be able to get the back bumper? He does. But is this going to be almost like a pit? I mean, think of what this lap down car of Sturgill's doing. He's leaving the preferred line completely open, and Ogden is not in the preferred line at all. So can Barletta take advantage of this and get a draft off the 64 and take the lead? We'll see. Here comes the 81, big draft, not going to do it. He backs off right there, but here comes Jeff Marin. Nothing being done there. And Rick, this is the time where we see these cars start to stack back up, is what we're seeing right now. So this is when the field starts to get, it's almost like an accordion, you know, it happens in a lot of races.
Yeah, once you hit that 10 lap number, here we're at lap 13, you've got some wear in those tires. You're not able to work your way through that corner as you've done before. You know, now you need to rethink your race. It's time to be that, you know, that smart thinker about how to work my line and get the most out of this car with a slicker racetrack.
Exactly, and you know, right now you have basically first through 10th only separated by 1.6 seconds right now. And we may see some moves as we see some drafting going on. Here comes, I believe that is the 80 of Alonzo King down the backstretch, trying to get around the 27 of Jeff Marin, and successfully is able to do that, which pushes Marin back to 4th and Alonzo King up to 3rd. You know, got to talk about Alonzo King for a second. He had a penalty at Pocono, which took away a win from his win total, which gave it to Charles Van Scoik. And last week, he unfortunately had too many incident points and was not able to finish the remainder of the race. So he is looking for a big bounce back and to get that win back.
Well, showing up definitely tonight, running in 3rd. That's a great move. He's up +7 spots for the night. Alonzo King now showing in 3rd. That is a lap down. Well, that is actually the tail end of the lead lap. That's the number 64 of Cody Sturgill. Good golly. Cody Sturgill up there in that orange 34, and an opportunity here with the 81 trying to get by Ian Ogden. He's putting his nose down there.
He is, and we'll see what happens. Ian Ogden's been out front the entire race so far, and we'll see how this plays out. Looking at lap times, Rick, time starting to get a little bit into the 53, so 52.9, 52.8, 52.5, 52.9 for the top 4 drivers. As they hit the line, I'll give you lap times as they go. It looks like the last lap times are 52.8, 52.96, 52.97, and 53 flat. So obviously times are starting to drop off about a half a tenth between lap 1 and lap 15. Not actually that big of a fall off as I thought it was going to be. We have some drivers in the back that are all running 53.4s that started with 52.2s. So a little bit fall off there, but look at that. Here comes Mr. King.
Right there challenging Harley Barletta for second and takes the position. Under pressure and slips under the leader. Alonzo knows every lap counts, every point counts, and you can pick up a point or two. That's a bonus point. Got a number of drivers now making their way. I think that's Colin, Jesse Vaughn and Colin Garrett coming down pit road.
Yep, they're both down pit road on lap 17. So got to make that as a note here in our books to go. You can go about 17 laps.
At least at the front side, we'll see who extends past lap 17. So a few retirees tonight: Jacob Walker, Austin Habel, David Overstreet. You know, this is not an easy track, and if you haven't put in a lot of practice time, it definitely makes it tough to get around.
It sure does, and you know, we'll see who's going to be able to master this track. I think some of the more veteran drivers probably will be up near the front. Oh, Alonzo a little bit sideways coming out of Ford. Is going to open up the door for the 21. See if he takes advantage of it. He is not going to be able to. But yeah, Rick, some of the more veteran iRacing drivers may have a little bit of a leg up because they race at this track, or they have raced at this track in the past. So we'll see who's able to master the Tech4Troops Indy 225 with 18 laps complete here. Alonzo King out front, Ian Ogden in second, Harley Barletta in third, Ward in number 7 and 4th, and Jeff Nairn rounds out your top 5.
All right, Jesse Vaughn and Colin Garrett are off of pit road. It's like a regular full stop of full tank of Sunoco fuel and 4 brand new Goodyear tires.
You definitely want it. You definitely want those tires because those are very, very important coming here late in the race, especially. Ooh, here comes, I believe it is the 21 of Ian Ogden down pit road. Your lap leader so far, and he has another car of Sean Skytman down pit road behind him. So your leaders starting to make their way down pit road on lap 19. Right side's going on, left side's going on, and see if anybody else makes their way down pit road this next time by. Alonzo King, your current leader. Looks like nobody's going to make their way down, but we'll see. Guys, Alonzo King still in the lead. Lap 20 out of 90.
All right, looking back through the field, looks like Ryan Pittman is now on pit road.
Yep, Pittman's down on pit road.
Barletta's got a pretty good lead over second place Barletta. Zach Ward's in third. Jeff Nairn is currently showing in fourth. Ty Bostic in fifth. Good move for Ty Bostic. That's bumping him up 6. Luke Bullard and David Clayton sitting in 7th. He's up 10. 11 now. Ty Bostic is on pit road along with his teammate Luke Bullard. You're seeing Mark Hanna as well, Zach Allen, all on pit road.
And what I'm going to be very curious about, I'm watching Mr. Ian Ogden on my other screen. I want to see where he comes out comparatively to these leaders, because I think the draft is going to play a major role in the race tonight, especially with feeds and positioning and the delta between somebody coming on pit road with cars and without cars. So right now we see a lot of drivers on pit road, Bostic, Hanna, Amick, Allen all pitting together. So we'll see how this stands out for Alonzo King, which right now Alonzo King is still out front, has not come down pit road, has about a second lead over second place. And Ian Ogden is about to hit the line. I'll give you his lap time when he hits it. It is a 52.9. So he is about 5/10 slower than what he was in the draft. So, Rick, could this possibly be a teammate race where you want to stay hooked up with your team?
Well, good for Alonzo because he's got that lap, the end of the tail lap of Cody right in front of him. If he was out by himself, he would be way slower than the guys trying to chase him down behind.
Exactly. He just ran a 53.2 his last time, and Ian Ogden ran a 52.9. So a 3/10 difference there, and I think that's going to pay dividends for Alonzo King as he stays out front. Looks like Van Scoik still has the fastest lap of a 52.1. But right now, your top 5 is King, Barletta, Clayman, Harrell, and Van Scoik.
Oh, wrecking.
Uh-oh,
Caution's out.
There we go. Good move.
Good move. Alonso was about to come in. He saw that wreck coming in onto pit road. I think that was, I'm not sure who wrecked there. We'll go back and take a look. I think that was Luke Bullard, actually.
I believe it was.
Definitely has some damage there. Let's take a quick peek at what happened. Falling behind Luke Bullard here. Big hit, big hit.
And he went down pit road technically when it was closed. So my guess is he probably has a penalty as well. Let me check. He does not, but Ty Bostic has a black flag. Not really sure why. Mr. Bostic has a black flag.
Let's watch Ty Bostic. Let's find him. So he's watching Luke in front of him. Luke spins. He's coming down pit road. He sees the wreck in front. Maybe it's speeding.
Or did he come down a closed pit road? I mean, I think he hit the line. He hit the line before the light went red. I'm not sure.
All right, you've got your leaders coming down pit road. What a fantastic move. That happened right in front of the leaders. They bailed at the last second and was able to go around and come in under a yellow.
Yeah, what a good move there. I mean, heads up driving. He had enough time to be able to maneuver out of there and do that. So look at that. Here comes 81 in front of the 80. So good run by Mr. Barletta there. So looks like Barletta should be the leader with Ian Ogden having to drop back just a little bit. Let's see if Barletta can. He made it to that commitment line. He should be able to get out in front. He does, of Ian Ogden. So Barletta now is going to be your leader more than likely, unless they make the 21 go by him. I'm not really sure. It kind of looks like that's what's going to happen, but we'll see.
Well, we'll see how the scoring pylon takes care of. But a lot of great movers. Just we'll see how this all shakes out with Cody. He was at the pretty much the tail end of the lead lap. We'll see how he winds up since he now got his lap back. Well, actually, he got his lap back himself. He does not need the waiver in.
There you go.
But I am showing, we'll see how it scores. Bostic, Bullard, both a lap down.
That is what's showing up on my side too, so we'll see how that works. Interesting.
All right, so we're going to take a quick opportunity to get in a quick commercial break. Bear with us. You are here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Tech4Troops Indy 225, and we will be right back.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech4Troops? Tech4Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for Indian veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to tech4troops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech4Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We are here at Indianapolis for the Indianapolis, the Indy 225 here. Appreciate you tuning in and joining us. I know you have a choice when you look for your Wednesday night entertainment, and for you to join us here, we sure do appreciate it. So if you can, like and follow, whether you're watching us live or you're watching this on replay. We appreciate all of you that have tuned in to the IWM Broadcast Network and have been staying up to date on this series. And we will be bringing you a number of new races with the iNASCAR series. You'll find that on our Thursday night series.
Yeah, I love that series. We did a great job with them last Thursday night, so you got to check it out. Green flag back in the air, and Ogden back to the point. Now, Rick, this is where I think some cautions could breed cautions, as we are now going to go side by side down into turn one.
Yeah, this is always the scariest part of this race. That's the restarts. Everybody's bunched up, and mistakes can happen. We're kind of looking back through the field.
Yeah, I would pay attention to right here, Rick, on my other side. I see a lot of cars. Here we go, some big moves here. Possibly 3 wide going into 3. We are going to go 3 wide going into 3. Can they make it hold? They do. Car up, possibly in the wall, really high. Not really sure who that was. They're able to hold on to it, Rick. Look at those. Look at all those cars. It doesn't really look like they're going so fast until they start to get this camera moving a little bit closer and they fly on by. But here we go, lap 27 out of 90 complete here tonight. There is the 11 of Duquesne going back to lead, the 21 of Ogden. Oh, possible wreck with Sturgill. Nope, we're good, we're good, we're good. I saw some drops happen in the field. I don't know if something happened, but looks like
Sturgill has
good to
moved
go.
up. You know, he was back there, got involved in that first incident. He still is running that car. He did not use his quick repair, so he is still, he's moving. He was back there in last place. He's now up 18 spots to 13th.
Yeah, he is, and you know that's a car that I would want to watch the rest of this race. You know, if I didn't mention it before, he seemed to have a lot of pace compared to the leaders. So we'll see how that plays out with that number 64 machine. But as it stands, Ogden out front with Colin Garrett in P2 in that 69 machine, a familiar name to iRacing, sim racing, and also real life racing in some NASCAR series races. So we'll see what he's able to do. You have Skytman behind him, who has a win on the season.
That's a good pack that they've got there. Some good drivers out front. Ogden, Garrett, Skytman, Ward, Vaughn. I think Jesse may have slipped a little bit there. And you got Ryan Pittman right behind.
Ryan Pittman right behind them. We'll see what they're able to do. Here comes, they're going to make the move on, very late move on Jesse Vaughn down into 1. See if they're able to go side by side.
Ryan Pittman works around the 84. Oh, loose car in the back.
Yep, not really sure who that was. I believe that was
Sammy Harrell.
Sammy Harrell, I believe so, yes.
Maybe that was Vandermark.
Possibly Vandermark. I can't keep track with all these purple cars.
There are a lot of them.
Yes, there is.
Looks like Cody Sturgill's made his way up as well. He's now plus 18. Oh, big dive.
Yeah, I think he got loose or something because he's
in the grass. We're still keeping an eye on Kane Vandermark. He certainly made a drive through the grass. It's got to do something to that underbody of this car.
Yeah, something's going on. Yeah, he's going to be facing some loose conditions for the rest of the race until he gets that repaired. Because that is some very dangerous waters you play going through the grass and going over those turtles in each turn. Love the paint scheme, by the way. Love that number 2 car. But see what he's able to do. He may fight some loose conditions as the race goes on.
All right, we are 1/3 through this event. 31 laps are in the book of our scheduled 90. And just some great racing. 1 caution so far. Head back up front with our leaders. And this group of 5 has really kind of gapped their way a bit. Oh,
Ooh,
contact.
Colin Garrett in the wall, I believe, or is that?
Colin Garrett.
Yep, that was Garrett. With claim to the back door of the number 21. See if he's able to get his lap back.
Clement is the lead car, 1 lap down. I don't know how he lost that lap.
I'm not sure. I'm actually kind of confused on that. I really don't know.
Not sure if he had to serve a penalty or what.
Nothing on my end that I see, Rick. So,
All right.
we'll see. Yep.
All right, 32 laps in the book. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll go side by side. You won't miss a thing. Oh, caution's out.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, just as we were about to cut away and did cut away, huge wreck on the backstretch. We've got a number of guys involved. Kane Vandermark, Mark Hanna, Ty Bostic involved, Bobby Gibson, Maurice Burnett, David Watts, Evan Amick. We're going to go back and see if we can get a look, see as to what happened. We're looking at the number 2 of Kane Vandermark. We saw him earlier kind of take a drive through the grass. He's right there on the outside of the 29 and gets by, kind of loses it, goes through
Does
the
a little
grass.
jump?
Yep.
Oh, does he come back up the track? I don't think he can control his car, Rick. Oh,
Big, that's the 88. That's the 22.
big hit.
Oh,
Oh,
came
and the
down. That's the
45.
45. That's Mark Hanna. And unfortunately, number of drives, Pete Woodrum making it through. There's some cars running through the grass. Oh, gosh. That's Bobby Gibson, I think, getting caught in at the end there. And Evan Amick.
Well, you know what I said, cautions breed caution, so that's our second caution of the night. We'll see how that plays out.
From Bobby Gibson's inside. He's trying to slow down. Oh, goes, just.
He was almost through. He almost made it.
Almost.
Almost doesn't cut it in racing, though.
Nope. All right, looks like the bulk of the field is back down onto pit road.
Not unexpected. You know, these drivers need to get that fresh set of good years on, and we'll see how this plays out for the rest of the evening.
Pit road is packed. I have some big gainers off here off of pit road.
Big gainers. Look at Sammy Harrell. He's up.
Jeremy Harrell stayed out.
Yeah, he's up 26. So that's going to be a very interesting move going forward. Not really sure if I agree with it, but I mean,
Well, he pitted last on lap 23.
He did. So we'll see how that fares out as this race plays out.
Okay, lap 35, our second caution of the night. Sammy Harrell in the 42 stayed out and takes over the lead, but a real big, not huge shakeup, but definitely that top 10 has got a little bit of mix of different drivers. Sean Shootman, Alonzo King, Zach Ward, Ryan Pittman, Cody Sturgill is now up in 6th. Ian Ogden, Colin Garrett, Zach Allen, and Christoph Hall.
Looking through this top 10 right now, you know, Harrell needs a win, Ward needs a win, Sturgill, Garrett, Allen, you know, they all need wins here. And really, it's almost anybody's game, it looks like. It could be really any of these guys. The one dominant car I would think would be right now Alonzo King. But, you know, it's a little bit, you know, too early. I know we're about, you know, a little over a third of the way through the race. But it's definitely a little bit too early to pick a favorite, because it's one of these tracks where, like, look at what happened with Ian Ogden. He's down in 7th, hasn't really been able to make his way back up to the front after that pit stop. So we'll see how this shakes up the field as the race goes on.
Yeah, we just brought up the driver championship right now for, you know, it really is the playoff championship. So you can see King, Bostic, Bullard, Pittman, Barletta, Shootman, Skytman, Harrow, Allen, Casarero, and Van Scoyk have punched their ticket in. Mike Slagner's up there in the lead for points. William Mann Jr., Jeff Nairn, Christoph Hall, and Maurice Burnett. Maurice Burnett's, he's on the bubble, but look how close these are. Ian Ogden, Maurice is at 261 for 16th place. Ogden is at 260. Ledger 259. Marquand at 258. Those guys are right there within a point or two. Joey Doucette 247. David Clement 242. Anybody can crack that top 16.
Anybody can, and I think it's anybody's race at this moment. And looking at Sammy Harrell, he needs a win. Sean Scheitman already got his, but Zach Ward needs one. Sturgill, you know, Hall, Doucette, they all need wins here. So we'll see what they're able to do, as the pace car is going to be making its way down pit road here once they get around turn 4. They have all gotten onto the front stretch. Pace car dips off. Field catches up. And we're green flag racing. They are racing. It doesn't look like it, but they are. That 42 is off to the races. Green flag back in the air.
Excellent restart by Sammy Harrell. Now there's only 3 races left in the regular season. These drivers go to Rockingham next, Old Atlanta, and then Talladega before we move into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, these next 3 races are going to be pretty much a battle of attrition. I mean, think about Rockingham. We don't go there as the Cup Series doesn't. So that's going to be a track just like this where it's going to be new and you may have a surprise winner. Same thing with Old Atlanta. Drivers going to be used to Old Atlanta because it just changed recently, but still don't go there anymore to the old configuration. So that'll be interesting. And then obviously Talladega. It's my favorite racetrack. It's the track that is going to produce the most thrills and the most spills and maybe a surprise winner that we wouldn't think of. So the next 3 races, even including this one, are really all huge toss-ups when it comes to who could potentially bring home that coveted win to move their way into the playoffs. Looks like Sturgill got into the wall coming out of 2 right there. Seems like these cars are a little bit loose off of exit, though.
Yeah, a little bit. Now, he did just pit on lap 34, so these guys all have fresh tires. You've got to get some heat built up into these tires to get some of that stickiness back in it. And then, 15 laps later, it's back to being pretty slippery. So, Rockingham, for me, that's our next race. You know, I'm really looking for some of the guys that actually call that their home track. That's Luke Bullard, Boston.
Oh,
someone's down. I don't know who that
It was a red car. Maybe David Watts?
was. Possibly.
I'm not sure what happened.
The Bass Pro Shops is the 40 car. That's Jeff Denis. That's got a red nose right there. Charles Van Scoyk just put down a 52.08. We're at lap 39. is coming to an end. And we're making our way to the halfway point.
Yep, 5 laps away.
Sammy Harrell is doing a great job out front there, setting the pace. Got a good group behind him. We're kind of watching all these guys. You know, there's a draft, and if you step out of that draft, you really need to get some help to get around.
You do. It's very important to do that and have that draft available to you at any time so you're able to make your way around this field. And like I said, drafting is going to be a big part of this race and who ends up at the front at the end. So right now, Sammy Harrell is doing a great job being able to stay in front of these guys with Sean Skytman down right to his back bumper. But it looks like the field has really just decided to span out a little bit and go single file.
You're looking back through the field a bit. We're seeing most of these guys are nose to tail. One guy, depending on the line of entry, as you enter that corner, you may be a little bit more towards the inside line. Others may take a bit of a wider turn, allow that corner to drift up. But with anything, your opportunity for disaster is right there. You've got that safer barrier that comes up pretty quick on these corners. So if I'm not mistaken, John, these corners get wide in the corner, then they come back narrow for the front and back stretch.
They do. It's a very unique layout, and it's built for, great race surface and configuration. And these cars are not used to it. We have a caution out on the track. Ty Bostic, Kane Vandermark looks like is involved in this one. Possibly, I may be wrong, but let's go back and see. Yep, there's Vandermark right there.
And that's Bostic to the outside.
Oh, not even clear.
Nope, not clear.
Yeah, not clear. Hey, Rick, we're doing a little bit of segment of the podcast today. I think we both say that is not clear in our book. Whoa!
That's
and then
the
you
88.
Have with a hard hit to the inside wall, and then, oh man, takes off the front bumper there. Was that Bullard?
No, I think that was the 88 of Maurice Burnett. Yeah, I think that was the 88 of Maurice Burnett. Yep, he's got some significant front end damage to that goat die-cast 88. That whole nose and right side of that front clip is just trashed. Yep,
well,
you can see
unfortunate.
That front tire is not turning.
It's not turning at all, and that's not a good sign. And we don't have independent brakes in these cars, so he's not doing that on purpose, folks. Oh wait, did it go back? There we go. It's started to turn very little. But that's our third caution of the night here at the Tech4Troops Indy 225. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching this event. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far. If you are, we would love for you to join the IWM broadcast community of 700 plus strong subscribers here on our YouTube channel and growing every day. So we want to thank you and bring you some more great racing as we are right now. Pace car is going back around and we have the field. It says pit road's closed. I don't think that's true, Rick. Because literally the entire field's now pit road. If that's the case, then everybody's going to be getting a black flag.
Yeah, I don't know where that information is being displayed, but I would say the answer is probably not.
So let's see what is happening as these drivers make their way out of pit road. Everybody making their way down. Who is going to be the first car off? Is that Sean Skytman there?
It is Sean Skytman.
What a move.
This was a fuel-only stop for a number of drivers. Skytman Garrett, Ogden, Naren, Pittman, Barletta, Ledger, King. That was fuel only.
Interesting move by these guys.
Now, your two guys up front, Zach Ward and Joey Doucette, they did not pit. They pitted last on lap 34. They're going to basically dance with what they got.
So we're seeing right now a lot of cars off schedule, which is not or off sequence rather when it comes to pitting. Not atypical, but it's going to be interesting to see how this race plays out with all these guys and where they decide to go when it comes to pit strategy, because it does matter. It does matter when it comes to where you are on the track and your pit strategy and how you pit, because we've seen so far, Rick, for example, Ian Ogden, he has not been able to crack the top three since that pit stop in the very first portion of the race when he came down 2 laps before everybody else. So we'll see what he's able to do. But right now, I mean, track position, I think, is one of the biggest keys of this race.
Absolutely. So that's Ty Boston coming back down. He was involved in that earlier incident. He may be coming down for some repairs. Mark Hanna is also on pit road. And David Clayton as well. Colin Garrett seems to possibly have some connection issues. We'll keep an eye on that. But the lights are off on top of our pace car, which means we'll be going back to green flag racing next time by.
Fantastic.
You know, I have to, you know me, I'm not a huge fan of road courses, and we seem to have more of them now in the NASCAR series, but, you know, I think if we're going to go to Indianapolis, it shouldn't be for a road course.
I agree. I've seen a road course race at Indy. It's a fun track to drive, and it's a very interesting race to watch, but when you have the Indy 500 going around the oval, when you have the original Brickyard, those are iconic races. I mean, the Brickyard was only around for about, 23, 24 years, Rick? So it wasn't around very long if comparatively to all these other tracks. But I agree. I think they need to come back here and make an effort to, especially in these cars. I think these cars have put on a heck of a show here at Indy.
Especially the all-new Gen 7 car. It deserves an opportunity to show what it can do.
100%, exactly.
All right, we're getting ready to go back to green momentarily here. Zach Ward is your control car in that black number 7. Pace car is off.
Pace car is off. Ward's the control car. He's waiting, and he's off. Green flag back in the air here at Indy. Halfway through this 90-lap event, new leader is Zach Ward.
Good jump on the field for sure. Of course, past Joey Doucette behind him, everybody else just took fuel, so they're kind of all on the same. They have the same tires. It's not back till we get to the 8 car of Alonzo King, where Alonzo King did take tires.
Exactly.
Caution's out.
Well, caution's brief. Oh, yep, caution's brief, cautions here. And we'll see what brought out our 4th caution of the night.
It may have been Luke Bullard. We'll go back and see just what's going on with Luke Bullard. We're keeping our eye here on the number 3 of Luke Bullard.
Got really high, trying to avoid that other car, and just wrong place at the wrong time.
Jeez.
Wow, that was a big wreck, actually.
Bullard, Altizer, a number of other guys were involved. Didn't have quite the amount of damage, but certainly I saw Jeff Nani involved. I think that's the 12 of Altizer there. All right, 44 laps to go. We are now under caution here for our only our fourth time of the night. Just about
Only four cautions.
Yeah.
Trends. Hey, I can't help it. They
I
can't
know.
hear me.
It's math, dude. It's just math.
It is math. It's math.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Thank you for watching the Tech for Troops Indy 225.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech for Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers to get back in the workforce. We want to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back to the Tech for Troops Indy 225. We are now under caution, only our fourth caution of the night. That caution for an incident with Luke Bullard and Grant Altizer. We had just had a restart, and there was a little bit of contact, and they wound up 3 wide, and that's never a good place to be in one of these turns.
Never. You know, it happens more times than we would like it to, but yeah, that's racing for you. So right now, as it stands, Zach Ward is your leader with look who's up in P2 looking for a win. Mr. Doucette with Colin Garrett in third, Skyman at fourth, and Ian Ogden back up to P5.
6, you got the 27 of Jeff Nair and 81 Harley Barletta. The 80 of Alonzo King, Ryan Pittman in 9th, and John Ledger has worked his way up to 10. We are seeing a trend here. We've got a number of the 11-11 guys in that top 10.
We do, and you know, this is similar to the dominance we saw last season. Excuse me. Been up a pretty long time today, having a little bit of a yawn. Anyways, so it's similar to what we saw, you know, in season 2. That's dominance. He hasn't made a splash yet this year, and I think that's possibly could change here. But it's good to see that team running up near the front.
Absolutely. So you've got the 11-11 driver of Joey Doucette in the 11, the 69 of Colin Garrett, which will be behind your control car, your race leader, Zach Ward, also an 11-11 driver. Behind the 69 of Garrett, you've got the 21 of Ogden. Then further on back, you've got the 81 of Barletta and the 19 of Ledger, all 11-11 drivers.
That's pretty impressive if you ask me. Very impressive.
All right, so it's been a very interesting race, and again, as we pointed out in the beginning, this is not a track these guys have on the regular iRacing schedule. It's not a track we see on the NASCAR schedule, so there isn't a lot of tuning for this track and this car in particular. I know that in talking with the admin of this league, they had to adjust the transmission gearing, particularly for this track, because it just was not set up to run this track.
Exactly, and that's very interesting to say. I mean, like I said, I think this just proves by what we've seen tonight that these cars can run here, and they would put on a great show. So hopefully, if NASCAR ever watches this, or, you know, we have some connections, maybe they're like, oh, wait, let's talk to NASCAR about bringing this date back. That'd be great. Imagine that, bringing back the Brickyard. That'd be pretty cool to see.
I think we'll see it back. All right, so we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here at the Brickyard.
Pace car is off. Zach Ward is your control car again, and he's off. Green flag back in the air here with just under, or just about 40 laps to go.
Good jump out front by the 7 of Zach Ward. Falling in line behind him, Colin Garrett and Joey Doucette. Ian Ogden making his way into 4. That's 11-11, 2-3-4 right there.
It is, and that's, very good for their team to just have a good run here. And let's see what they're able to do. Let's see if they're able to make their way up to the front and potentially get a dub.
So Sean Skyman isn't allowing that 21 to take that spot quite so easily. They were too wide. That opened up the door for Jeff Nairn, that 27 with Alonzo King, to move up on them, taking that lower line.
Yeah, we're going to have some big runs coming here out of turn 4. Let's see what these cars are able to do. That is Jeff Ney down pit road. Here comes a move by William Mann Jr. in the back to potentially make it 3 wide. He does not, but makes it 2 wide as the field goes down into turn 1.
Big battles here.
Contact.
Tap. Yeah, it's like Ryan King possibly tagged the wall a bit there. John Ledger is side by side with the 24 of Zach Allen.
Zach Ward, Joey Doucette, and Colin Garrett have checked out, Rick. Already almost a full second ahead of 4th place, Mr. Ian Ogden.
Wild battles back here mid-pack amongst these drivers. We're still seeing that battle going on with the 19 of John Ledger, William Mann Jr., and the 24 of Zachary Allen. Zachary Allen moves in the back. There are a number of drivers on pit road. David Watts, Dan Withers, and Mark Hanna. Notable names currently on pit road. That's Pete Woodrum down low, as the 84 of Jesse Vaughn is looking for a place to move up. He's got the 41 of Charles Van Scoik right there to his outside. They're running back in the 15th spot. And you've got the purple car of Sammy Harrell, the 42, right there in front of him. Things are beginning to settle down a little bit, so we're seeing just some of the challenges that these guys face with getting around other drivers. It's not easy to pass here.
Yeah, and that was my other key, is passing. You have to be strategic about where you pass and how you pass. Because right here, look at the 24. He's probably going to go to the inside. Maybe not. He gets a bump from the 29. We'll see if he goes to the inside of that 19. He does, going into turn 3. We got 3 wide. In the back, big checkup out of the 17. That's going to cause some mayhem going into 3. We may see a wreck here, depending on how this plays out. 17, some big bumping. Not saying that he's going to wreck, but braking zones, that's another thing about this track. Drivers will have different braking zones, and you may get into the guy in front of you simply because he has a different braking zone than you. So we'll see how that plays out with some of these drivers here as it is. Here's Ryan Pittman in the 08 machine, making his way back up through the field.
Go back to Ryan Pittman here because I think he is shifting in the corners.
Interesting
He's in
move.
4th gear in the corners, shifting down the backstretch.
I mean, you can do it. It's possible.
Letting the engine slow the car there, not really brake applied. On the short sides, he is not shifting. It's only on the front and back stretch where he's upshifting to 5. Very interesting.
Very. It's a unique way to go up on this track. So we'll see how that plays out as this race progresses.
Jump up to Alonzo King up at the front, trying to make his way with, trying to track down the 21 of Ogden. Let's ride along with Alonzo, see if he's using that same strategy for shifting. So notice that he's staying in 5th gear. definitely a tale of two different strategies here. Ryan Pittman shifting inside of all the corners, and on the short side, staying in fourth. Alonzo King's letting him run at 5. All right, that's lap 56 in the books.
Yeah, we're getting to the second, the third, third of the race. That makes sense. We're almost a third of the way.
2/3 of the way done.
Bingo. We have a third left. There we go. Math is hard. Almost to that last third of this race, and you know the drivers are going to have to come down pit road potentially 2 more times. If you pit around the 70 lap mark, you may be able to make it, but with everybody coming down, Rick, on lap 34 or 43, sometime 47, it's very, very, very close to the end.
Just watching, there was some incidental contact, and Dan Withers and I think someone I thought was coming down pit road, but it's David Clayman that was just moving.
Incidental contact? Tech4Troops Cup Series race? No, never. Never incidental contact.
So we're keeping our eye on the 12 of David, 17 David Clayman, as John works his way up to 42 of Sammy Harrell. 64 also possibly getting into the 08. Oh, caution's out here.
And there we go.
Oh my gosh, it was Ian Ogden.
Oh no. This is huge for the end of this race. Ian Ogden trying to make his way back up through the front to the front.
Oh,
we'll see what happens here. That's Alonzo King. Hey, Rick, didn't I just get done talking about incidental contact?
Yeah, this unfortunately was a little bit of a tap.
Well, you know, I guess the commentators and us broadcasters, we can still cause some cautions here up in the booth, unfortunately. So through our words, it happens. It's the curse. It's the curse.
Bear
So
with this, we're looking for a little bit different angle here. This may take us through. I think Alonso's trying to work up. That's unfortunate.
just unfortunate there. It's a matter of racing, though. It happens. It's we'll see how this affects the end of the race, and I don't know if Alonzo King got any damage from this, but we'll see.
All right, 32 laps to go. A little bit of contact between Alonzo King and Joey Doucette. I'm sorry, Ian Ogden in the 21 caused the 21 to spin. And right now he is at the tail end of the lead lap. I don't know just how much damage he has on that 21. But I'm fairly certain he is not happy with what has occurred.
Yeah, I'd be right there with you, Rick. I would not be happy if I was him either. But it's a part of racing. It sometimes can happen. We've seen. I mean, that was the culprit of Pocono. That exact move where you get a little bit too close and side draft, and next thing you know, one car is sideways. Both cars are sideways.
Yep.
It happens. So, got some guys down pit road. This looks like this will be not the last stop of this race. So they're going to have to come down pit road one more time.
I don't know. I think I'm trying to think back to the first caution. I thought we went 34 laps in that first caution.
We did, but I believe drivers, some came down on lap 15, some on lap 17, some on lap 21.
You're right. You're right.
So I'm thinking it's going to be about 20 laps on a tank.
So one more stop.
I believe one more stop. That is correct.
Well, that has completely changed the leaderboard right now on this restart.
Oh, it's going to shake up everything.
So that puts the 41 of Charles Van Scoik as the control car. Sammy Harrell, his teammate, to the outside. Cody Sturgill, his teammate, behind. And then the 44 of Christoph Hall in fourth. Zach Ward will be in fifth. Lonzo King in sixth. Joey Doucet in seventh. Colin Garrett in eighth. Jeff Nairn in ninth. And John Ledger in 10th. Ian Ogden is still in the pits. He's got, I guess he's getting some damage repaired now over a minute. And he is now out. He got as much repaired as he could without losing his quick repair, I imagine.
I believe so.
All right, so we'll take the green flag probably around lap 29. Nope, next time by. Yeah. Be lap 29. So the Go Diecast team will be dominate the whole front row.
You know, they find their way back up to the front of these fields in surprisingly good fashion, Rick. It seems like almost every race we've seen two purple cars near the end. So they know what they're doing over there in that camp. Very impressed out of that team right there. The GOAT Diecast team.
All right. Again, we appreciate you guys tuning in to our broadcast tonight. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We continue to grow that community, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Making our way around the track.
Yeah, we're about to see these guys get back to the green flag here fairly soon.
Coming out of turn 4.
And here we go. Pace car dips down. 29 to go. 41 is out front with the 42 to his outside. And we are green flag racing back here at Indianapolis with 29 to go. And I don't think Sammy Harrell, well, he did. He gave his teammates a spot. Thought he was going to battle him a little bit harder than that.
No, he was more content with just kind of backing off maybe a little bit, allowing him to slip into that P2 position.
Got some movers going on in the back. I believe that's around the Joey Doucet John Ledger realm. See what they're able to do. Car up in the high line. Coming to 27 to go this time by.
Interesting fact, the top 4 drivers have improved their position combined by over 103 positions.
That's incredible. 25 positions gained from Van Scoik, Harrell, and Christoph Hall, and then 28 positions by Mr. Cody Sturgill. What a run by those guys. That's incredible, right? That's actually very, very, very impressive.
So that's that group: Van Scoik, Harrell, Sturgill, and Christoph Hall all pitted last on lap 47. They're about 12 laps of a disadvantage over everybody else in the field.
Interesting.
So they must have figured out a way to make this, well, everybody needs one more stop. So
They do.
and if they can get it to the point where they're within that window, then good for them.
Absolutely. So right now, I mean, it's a lot of different strategies playing out though, Rick, because think about it. You can split this in half, go 15-15. You could try to extend it as long as you can, but you're going to lose some time on the back end of that stint. But what do you think? What would your move be, knowing that you have to come down pit road possibly one last time?
Well, I'd kind of play out the averages, and the average is saying that there's a caution every 10 to 12 laps.
Right.
You know, there has been some attrition, so just for, we have lost David Overstreet, Austin Habel, Jacob Walker, Kane Vandermark, Bobby Gibson, Mark Hanna, and Dan Withers and Evan Amick are out. So there has been some attrition, but there are still a number of drivers out there still battling, even though they're a lap or so down. So the opportunity for another caution is there. So I'd wait it out. I'd wait it out as best I can. I put in my 10 laps or so, and if I reach that point where I've got to go in, I'm going in. But I'm going to gamble. Zach Allen crashed, but a caution did not come out.
No caution. Yep, that's a very shocking. Shocking a caution didn't come out for that. That was fairly hard hit, but we're agreeing so far. Oh, did he stop?
We're watching it right now to see what happened.
It's maybe afterwards. He's pretty slow on the track. Interesting.
So by crashing, we mean as he drove through the cones.
Hey, quote unquote wreck is a wreck. So
It is right.
we'll see. It is. So we'll see. We'll see what happens as this race plays out. 25 to go, and there is the caution, Rick.
Ian
There it is.
Ogden.
Oh no, not again, Rick.
I don't know. Let's go take
I'm
a peek.
trying. It looks like he, got a little loose.
It's like no help.
No help, but took a big slide. Big slide.
It's like no contact, no vehicle damage, but I'll need to change some tires.
Definitely needs to change some tires.
All right, so now the caution's out with 24 laps to go. That's an odd number, right?
Very odd, and that's going to be a very interesting, very interesting strategy play for these guys, because can you save enough gas to be able to make it to the end of the race with one more stop? Because I think that's what's going to come down to. You go back to some previous pit stops. Some guys came in 17 and 18 in. Some came at 21. So due to a caution on 21. So we're guessing it'll be probably about that same lap time. But that's going to be very close. Very close to making it to the end of this race.
All right, well, take a quick moment. We're going to go side by side and take a quick commercial break. It'll be a short one. We'll be right back.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Indy 225. We've got 23 laps to go, and the bulk of the field has taken this opportunity to come down onto pit road. Your leaders on pit road Now that being said, they're pitting here on lap 67. We've got a good bit of folks who said, nope, I am not going to pit. And you'll find that to be Mr. Alonzo King, who finds himself leading this race. Zach Ward, Colin Garrett, David Clayman, Jesse Vaughn, and Ian Ogden, after all that, is now shown in 6th.
I mean, what a fight for Ogden. I mean, he's definitely one of these guys that was out front early on, and we'll see if specifically he's able to make his way back up to the front. But Rick, it's a battle of attrition at this point.
Well, I'm concerned because he did have that spin and flat spotted his tires. How that's actually going to affect his performance?
It'll affect it. It'll 100% affect it. Now, how much? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see until he gets up to the front here and obviously plays out. But, I mean, maybe he's banking on another caution. Maybe he wants to save his tires for another incident that we may or may not have. So we'll see what plans out here and spans out here for these guys here tonight. But all I know is, Rick, we're winding down to it, and looking through this top 10, Ward needs a win, Garrett needs a win, Clayman, Vaughn, Doucette, man, I mean, all these guys need wins.
Do we have another requirement? I just Charles Van Scoik, Sammy Harrell, Cody Sturgill, Christoph Hall all came back in on pit road.
Yeah, my guess is they're topping it off. They need to. They probably are forced to, simply because of the fact that they're not going to make it. So, very interesting move, but I think that's the right move to come down to pit road now and get that pop of fuel, top it off, and be ready to go to the end.
Those are fuel-only stops. So they're banking on everybody else having to come back down.
Bingo. That is correct. That is correct.
All right, we really appreciate you guys tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We do this each and every Wednesday night. And without you, our viewer, as well as Tech4Troops, the 1111 Project, and you all, we wouldn't be able to bring this sim racing broadcast to you at all. So thank you again for tuning in, and we hope that you stay with us. And again, I've said this before, tell your friends, tell your neighbor, tell your brother-in-law, check this out.
Your cat, your pet goat, whatever you got.
Yeah, as long as they have a YouTube account.
Hey, you never know. You never know these days. So, pace car makes its way down pit road. 22, going to be 21 laps to go. A familiar face out front, Alonzo King. We'll see what he's able to do as he leads the field down. Green flag back in the air. 21 laps to go at the line. Uh-oh, Rick. Do you see what I just saw?
What?
Did he change lanes before the start-finish line?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to go back and we can look back at that restart.
Is the rule you can't change lanes before the start-finish line, or you can't change lanes before the green flag or the start of the race, a restart? What's that rule?
We'll have to get a ruling from the admin folks. We'll see what race control says.
See what they say here. Alonzo King has been a culprit of that at Pocono. We'll see what happens here tonight. Maybe he just gives up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know the race control was very strict about that going down the line, but I'm not really sure how that would play into this race as it stood. But as it stands, Alonzo King is out front with the caution out. Caution's back out on the track.
For Colin Garrett and Maurice Burnett.
Have to go back and take a look and see what happened there with these guys.
So Colin Garrett may have just parked it. He's got his engine is blown up.
It is. Wow.
Jumped over to Maurice Burnett here. He was also involved in something. That's that yellow 88 in front. Got the 42 of Sammy Harrell below. Jeff Denis behind. It shows him as crash, but
Yeah, I don't see anything.
also a victim of what looks to be a blown engine.
It's very interesting, Rick. I'm not sure why that is.
Let's take a look back. On that restart. Pace car is off. I don't think we'll see when the green flag drops.
Well, isn't it on the control car, though?
He's off. Staying in the lane. He does move up prior to the start-finish line.
Would that constitute a moving above the, or changing lanes, rather?
I don't know. That's in the hands of the
the race control individuals.
Yep. So a number of guys are currently on pit road. Ian Ogden, Jesse Vaughn, Zach Ward, Alonzo King.
I think it's a good move to come down pit road here and get some tires and get some gas, Rick.
Absolutely. With 18 laps to go, we'll be back to 16, I think, by the time we go back to green flag racing.
That's correct.
And interesting, your leader is the 17 of David Clayman.
Hey, we've seen him up front quite a bit. We'll see if he's able to do anything with it, but he has been able to run up front with these guys consistently, so we'll see what happens. He needs a win too, so he may be that winner that surprises us here tonight.
Well, he last pitted on lap 59. I think he is the only driver who has pitted last on that lap. Everybody else behind him is either lap 67, 68, or more recently 72. So we'll see how this goes. Alonzo King did come down onto pit road, and that did cycle him back to 19th position.
Let me see if he has any penalties associated with him. He does not. I don't see anything on the tower, so not really sure, Rick.
All right. Well, we have 17 laps to go. Lights are off on top of our pace car, which means we go back to green. There'll be 16 laps to finish. This has been our 7th caution of the night. And David Clayman will be the control car.
Yes, he will. Let's see what he's able to do with. It'll be 15 laps to go at the line when they get, 16 to go at the line once they cross this next time. So we're winding down. We're getting to the tail end of this race.
It does look like Alonzo King did receive an EOL.
So that would be correct. He did change lanes. That would be the penalty there. So we called that one. You know, it's kind of hard to miss when it's the leader. But, you know, a rule is a rule, and, you know, we do that for good measure so everybody has a fair chance, Rick. So,
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on the rest of the team, the rest of the race as we go down, and we'll take a peek at each of these restarts. And again, if we can bring that to you and show you it in replay, we will.
exactly.
All right, David Clayman's your control car. Joey Doucette is outside. John Ledger and William Mann Jr. He is surrounded by an 11-11 gang.
He is. I don't know how comfortable I would feel right now, but if I were those guys up front, I'd better watch out because there's some hungry dogs behind them. So here we go. Pace cars off for a green flag racing. Clayman into the point. Everybody's holding line, and we're good. Here comes the 17 and the 11 and the 19 down in the turn one with the William Mann Jr. there in fourth as well. A lot of 11-11 veteran guys up front. See what they're able to do with 15 laps to go this next time by.
David Clayman's hoping for one more caution to come out, maybe a little bit further into this run, so he can go back in and get what he needs to get. But enough of a draw to get these other guys to go back in with him, because if he goes in by himself, he's going to cycle back 20 positions.
Exactly. That's going to be catastrophic, especially for a place like this where guys have not been able to pass.
Keeping an eye back on Alonzo King, who's trying to make his way back up at the end of the longest line where he restarted. He is now in 19th position with 15 laps to go.
Yeah, that's tough. With Alonzo, he was doing great things moving up through the field. And let's talk about that really quick. Some big movers of the race. You know, Joey Doucette up 19 positions there. There he is in that second spot. He's looking for a win. You have David Clayman up front in the 17 car. He's up 16 positions as well. Some other big movers of the race. Let's go to William Mann Jr. He is up 12 spots up there in fourth. Charles Van Scoyk and Sammy Harrell's teammates there, they're up 16 spots, both respectively, with Christoph Hall, the 44, up 15 and 16 spots right behind those teammates right there. So a lot of big movers in this race with only 15 laps to go, now 14 laps to go. Every spot matters, so let's see what happens. A little bit of bump drafting right there between those two guys.
A little bit. Back up front, it looks like the 17 David Clayman has kind of checked out a little bit.
He has. He's grown his lead to a little over half a second right now, which is very impressive at this track. So we'll see what he's able to do. See if he maybe be able to bring home that win.
Back here, that's the 37 of Skytman, the 3 of Bullard, and the 27 of Neary.
Yeah, 3 wide, Rick. You know, we've seen what 3 wide happens, and then the result of that, just want to be very careful with how you run that. Make sure you give enough room to the guy depending on where you are. If you're the middle car, obviously paying into your inside outside, and if you're that inside car, just hoping and praying, and you don't squeeze that guy into the middle and the high line individual, well, you're just up there and you hope you don't get put in the hole. Pretty much how it goes.
41 of Van Scoyk is working his way back up through the leaders. He is now showing in 8th position. He has got the 3 of Luke Bullard in front of him. His teammate, Sammy Harrell, slips under the 37 of Sean Skytman and makes his way up to 9th. Good opportunity for these guys. They peaked last on lap 67. I don't know. I'm guessing they've got enough juice. That was Jeff Needy in the back there, diving down almost into the inside wall.
Yeah, almost had an incident there. That was could have been catastrophic for some of these guys who are on a different strategy. But as it stands right now, Alonzo King just ran one of the fastest laps of the race at a 42.08 or 0.18 rather. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, this
He's
really
still
just
all the way back
as a notable name, this really is the best we've seen John Ledger running in a good bit of time, right?
It has been. He has actually dealt with some injuries, so it's very interesting to see how that's playing out. But obviously, this is a track where you do have to be consistent, but you don't have to worry about turning for a long period of time. Obviously, you're making quote-unquote more turns, but they're very short corners. So maybe this is playing into a little bit of a strong suit here and some of his strengths, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe he's able to bring home a win. Just imagine that. Mr. Ledger talking to him. It'd be great to speak with him up there especially on the podium as well. So he's hanging in there. William Ann Jr., another one that's looking for a great run here. Got some action going on behind them, Rick. I think that is maybe a 2 to 3 wide battle between some teammates here. The 42 and the 41. Getting a little help there is the 41 of Van Scoik and his teammate Sammy Harrell trying to get around that number 3 of Luke Bullard. They're already locked into the playoffs. Oh, he's not clear. Oh, he hold on to it. He's good save. Hey, we called that one too, Rick. We got that one.
We did. Great save by the 41 of Charles Van Scoik. It did cycle him back to the end of the lead lap cars, but he did not crash.
We are 10 laps to go, Rick. 10 laps to go.
Hanzo King has now made it up to 15th. With 10 laps to go. His next victim looks like Ty Bostic if he can catch him. Luke Bullard, Ty's teammate, is now up to 8th. He's dealing with Sammy Harrell to the outside. Some tight racing there. He's got Sean Skytman behind him, and they're both trying to chase down Jeff Nairn in the 27.
All right, Skytman already has that win. Oh, no way to hit the wall there on the front stretch. But yeah, Skytman has that win, and let's go through the top 10 right now about who has a win on the season. You have Mr. Bullard in P8, Skytman in 9th, and Rick, does Pittman have a win? I believe he does, right?
Back and bring up the graphic. Let's look up the point standings. Pittman does have a win.
Yep. Okay, so 3 drivers out of the top 10 have a win, but your top 5 do not have. Or the top 4 do not have any. So right now, David Clayman up 0.8 seconds on the second place driver of Joey Doucette. You know, Joey Doucette looks like he may be the bridesmaid here tonight. He desperately needs a win right now. Ian Ogden dropping down a little bit in the field. Not really sure what happened there. He's down pit road. Ian Ogden is down pit road. Rick, as a caution just came out. There we go. Yep, I knew something was happening.
Ian Ogden may have spun. So with 8 laps to go, this is interesting. Let's go back and try to see just what happened to Mr. Ogden here.
Did he clip the grass?
Definitely riding that that line and that seam. Gets loose, corrects. No, just
hard hit coming.
Yep, big hit. Yep, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate there for that driver, Mr. Ogden. He had so much promise as this race was going on, so unfortunate. But as we go back to the front, Rick, here's some of where these drivers stand on their last time down pit road. With Mr. Clayman in P1, he pit last on lap 59. And then everybody else pit on lap 67, second through 6th. And then you have Clayman coming down. You have Pittman, maybe not. He faked it out. The only car, oh, that's a bad feeling, Rick. That's a really bad feeling to be one of the only cars to come down pit road.
Yep, that's what we thought. We just talked about that same scenario. Oh, and he missed his pit, so he had to back up.
That's even worse. Oh.
So a fuel only stop for Mr. David Clayman. He will pick up the end. of the longest line there, pretty much. End of the lead lap cars, puts him around 17th.
That's a long way to go, Rick, in 7 laps.
Charles Van Scoik also pitted on that.
Yeah, I think you can make it with this caution. It'll be close, but I think you can make it if you're some of these guys. Maybe they're banking on they can't, but since we've had a couple cautions since that last pit road stop,
yep.
I think you can make it.
So we've got one quick commercial we're going to run side by side. We'll get them all in. You won't miss a thing.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I support Tech4Troops.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Indy 225 with just 7 laps to go. We are currently under caution, our 8th caution of the night. You've got Joey Doucette, our control car. To his outside, you'll have the 19 of John Ledger, the 29 of William Mann Jr. will be in 3rd, and Ryan Pittman will be in 4th. Number of drivers came down pit road to top off for fuel, and some to get some fresh tires. Also, use their quick repair, get a fresh car out there, and so we're about to go back to green.
Yeah, might as well, but I don't know if I would use that quick repair just yet, Rick. It'll be 5 laps to go this time by. I'm not sure we're done with some of the incidents, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we're able to stay green, but right now it's looking going to be a very interesting race. Now, looking at the leaderboard right now, the car with the freshest tires as well as the most gas, the first car right there is going to be David Clayman there all the way in P17. He's actually net gain 0, so that's where he started in 17th in the 17 car, so we'll see what he's able to do and if he's able to make his way through the front. But right now I'm keeping my eyes on these top 4 drivers, top 3-4 drivers. You have Joey Doucette, who needs a win, John Ledger needs a win, William Mann Jr. needs a win, Naren Harrell, Ward needs a win, Sturgill up 20 spots needs a win. Joey Doucette, what a run, up 20 spots in that lead position, Rick. So here we go. Pace car is about to drop off.
We're watching
Joey Doucette is the control car. And there he goes. Green flag back in the air. 5 to go this time, Rick.
All right, we're watching in the back. Charles Van Scoik is restarting back in 17th. He's got fresh tires and a fresh car with just 5 laps to go, trying to work his way back up. That's a lot to ask.
It is. We had a run coming out from Mr. Pittman down to the bottom side of William Mann Jr. Not able to get this done.
Looks like he got a little bit of a brush off by the 29 of William Mann Jr.
He's there. He's not clear. Wow, cut him off. He shut the door on him.
42 of Sammy Harrell is back there behind the 29.
4 to go. 3 wide going into 1, Rick. Right behind these guys right here. Car backed out. Sean's
still tight racing. A little bit of dancing. That 7 was awfully close to the bumper of that 37 going through that turn. Looks like that's
all the way
42.
Down
that's Sammy Harrell diving low there.
I'm not really sure why that was. He's going to lose a position here to Luke Bullard, I believe, as Luke Bullard now dives down into the 6.
They're swapping.
And we got a gaggle of cars right behind them, Rick. Potentially 3 wide out of 4. 3 wide out of 4. It's not going to work. We're wrecking.
Nope.
There it is. There it is.
Alonso
King. That's a penalty. Goes up hit. Oh, big hit from Jeff Minnie in the 40.
All right, with 3 laps to go, that puts us in overtime. There's a lot of damage back here.
It started with somebody going 3 wide out of 4, which is not going to be the way to do it here at Indy, especially when you have... Yeah, it's just not going to work. Here we go, riding along board with Alonso King.
And that's the 48 to his inside. He comes up, squeezes a 64.
It's nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. And David Clayman's wrecking behind him. How did that happen?
I don't know, but Jesse Vaughn, what a move.
Let's back this up just a little bit.
I think it was the same thing that happened with... It was the same thing, crowding out of the corner.
So we're keeping an eye on those 3 cars side by side up there. That's the initial wreck.
Oh, he got loose and got up high.
17 comes up to try and avoid the wreck, takes out the 22. The 84 says, I am going to try and make it through here. He splits them, makes it through, as does Charles Van Scoik. He's on pit road. He's locking it up to avoid going down pit road.
What a move by Jesse Vaughn, though. I mean, that's a free couple positions he got right there, and he is going to be able to improve his position in the race. Obviously, he started up there near the front, but still, that is huge right now. Now, looking at this, Rick, we have 3 laps to go. It will be a green-white checkered, so we'll see who's going to make some moves here. I mean, I knew it was going to be action-packed at the race end here, but we'll see who's able to make it down pit road. If you were the leader, if you were Joey Doucette in this situation, what would you do? What would you do knowing that everybody behind you wants to win?
Well, I'm surrounded by my teammates. I've got John Ledger, Ryan Pittman. Well, not my teammate, but William Mann Jr. That's my teammate. So I'm it's not going to be team orders, but I'm definitely going to look to protect my position as best I can. I'm sure pretty much at this point, with just 3 laps to go, the gloves are off. So
of course.
I'm just going to run my race. I've got the huge advantage. With this track, it is so hard to pass. I've got the ability to control the start of this race. I'm going to put as much space as I can between my teammates and myself, and run in front of John Ledger, and hope John's happy with being second if I'm the leader, and
really
and go there. But he's got Ryan Pittman back there. Ryan wants to win. Jeff Nairn wants to win. Bullard's up there in 6th. Sammy Harrell is up there in 7th. There's a lot of guys who are looking for an opportunity to take it up.
Exactly. I completely agree.
Well, this will be a green-white checker. I say this every time, but if this is your first time watching a NASCAR race or a sim race, it all works the same way. When that green flag comes out, we've got to make it back to cross in front. That white flag will come out next. If we make it cleanly back to the start-finish, then it does not matter if the caution comes out or someone's wrecking behind you. It's just how you finish the race. So with the lights off on the pace car, the field is forming back up 2 by 2.
I think it's going to be a wild finish, Rick. I think we're going to see some fairly crazy racing as this race plays out, and I'm here for it.
Well, with 3 races to go after this, some of these guys they've got to win to get in. So this is their opportunity.
It is their opportunity to do just that, and we'll see if they're able to do it. I mean, look right now. Look at the 2 guys out front, Joey Doucette and John Ledger, teammates, both needing wins. Look at William Mann Jr. there in that third position. He needs a win. Jeff Nairn been running up front all season long. Can he finally get that win? Sammy Harrell, same thing. Christoph Hall, all these guys are in contention for getting their first one on the season, and so we'll see what they're able to do as the pace car is making its way around turn 3 right now.
Joey Doucette wants this win.
He does so bad. We talked to him beforehand, and you know how bad he wants this win. So what a great potential win it could be for that team and the momentum going into the future races. Here we go. Rick, 3 laps to go. We have a green-white checkered. Joey Doucette is the control car. We're back to green flag racing. Here comes Joey Doucette at the line. Stay in the lane, stay in the lane. Perfect. 2 to go.
Joey Doucette jumps up. John Ledger moves down. Ryan Pittman moves by William Mann Jr. and jumps into third.
You know, Ryan Pittman wants another win. Help him with his playoff push. Here he comes. He has a run on John Ledger just a little bit to be able to make a run. We have another run in the back for the 6th position. That I believe is Luke Bullard and Sammy Harrell battling right there.
Tight back there. We're not losing sight of the fact that William Mann Jr. and that 29 is trying to make his way around the 08. That would be a 1-2-3 finish for 11-11 if they can pull it off.
That would be. Here we go. No cars are wrecking, which means hold on to it.
White flag is out.
White flag's in the air.
We're still good.
They
called
the caution.
Caution came out.
Wind up and do it again.
I don't know what this does to those guys who pitted last on lap 67.
Yeah, it's not a good look. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough because they're going to have to stretch it on fuel for the rest of the race. I mean, and I don't know how they're going to be able to do that and stay up at the front.
The top 9 pitted last on lap 67, which puts Zach Ward and then Jesse Vaughn, 72. Charles Van Scoik is looking like a hero. He pitted last on lap 83. If it's fuel, he's got it. He may be able to make it around. All right, so what happened there?
Loose conditions and coming back up the track and collecting a driver. That's all I got to say.
All right, looks like it's the number 1 of Pete Woodrum comes up and unfortunately has contact with the rear quarter panel of the 40, takes out the 12, and the 12 and the 1 have contact. That appears to be, unfortunately, what brought out that flag. We do have a number of drivers, I believe, who are on pit road. Grant Altizer, who was just involved in that incident. David Klayman is back on pit road. Everybody else is staying out. There are a few more cars on pit road, but they're there for some extensive repairs. So, does that change the top 4? Doucette, Ledger, Pittman, Mann. That's 4. So our 10th caution of the night. We'll attempt to get this back underway. Another green-white checker.
We have 3 of these, so this is attempt number 2.
Thank you for tuning into the IWM Broadcast Network. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. On whatever streaming service you're using, whether it happens to be YouTube or our Facebook channels. We appreciate you liking and following or subscribing. You can find us here each and every Wednesday night. And again, as we said earlier, next Wednesday we will be at Rockingham. We've got 240 laps.
What a race.
At Rockingham, followed by Old Atlanta, and then we finish the regular season at Talladega. Then round one, when we move into the playoffs, we've got Kentucky, Coda, and Bristol.
I mean, these next races are going to be wild there, Rick. It's going to be pretty crazy. It's going to be pretty crazy. You do not want to miss if you're just tuning in. This is the time of the season to tune into as the playoffs are starting to come up and the regular season's winding down. These racers are going to need every chance they can to get a win, and who knows? I mean, look at the top 5 right now. Only one of those drivers has a win, Mr. Pittman. The top 7, only one win out of those top 7 drivers. So we'll see what's able to happen in this race. But I'm excited for the playoffs. I think it's been easily, hands down, the most competitive season we've had so far. And I'm excited to see who's going to come out of the end of this one.
Oh, I can't disagree with you at all. We were really surprised, pleasantly surprised by the competitiveness that's out there. We've got new faces and new names out there this season and really showing off their racecraft. So here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. We're back to our restart here. Joey Doucette is in charge. He's got his teammate to his outside. He's going to watch out behind him. That's the 08 of Ryan Pittman. And then William Mann Jr. is there. 11-11 is looking to try and make this a sweep of all those podium positions, but looks like there may be a spoiler in the 08 of Pittman.
Could be a spoiler. Could be. Not the ones on the front of the car either. We're talking about at the splitter or the rear of the car. Same difference. Either way, though, this is going to be a fantastic finish. Can we get a first-time winner here this season in the Tech4Troops Cup Series? Pace car is off, and we are back to green flag racing. 2 laps to go. And Mr. Doucette is at the point.
Great, I think a great restart for the 08. He's got the guy around him basically saying, hey, let's go, and he stayed and held that position. He could have easily been cycled back a little bit. No. The 11 moves into that lead position. He's got his teammate behind him in John Ledger.
We got guys feeding doors in the back and hopefully able to keep their cars going into the right direction. As
there were
we
nose
go
and
down
tail
to
for
turn
the
3.
First group are looking to beat back here at the other driver. Alonzo King is out there. He's trying to work his way back up.
Here we go. No one's wrecking. As long as they hit the line, we're going to be going to white flag. White flag in the air at Indy. Ryan Pittman looking to the outside of John Ledger in second. And he has the position and has the run. Can Ryan Pittman get another win here on this season to make his name known as a serious playoff contender? They're battling off the corner. He squeezed him. John Ledger squeezed him. And they're driving. This is really good for Joey Doucette. Can Joey Doucette finally get that win, Rick? Half a lap to go.
John Ledger's holding off the 08 of Ryan Pittman.
Side by side as they get out of turn 3, but here comes the 3. Luke Bullard. John Ledger goes up the track to try to get to the outside or inside,
Good
but
move
here
by
we go.
the 3, trying to drop down. He was getting as wide as possible here.
Here we go, drag race to the finish. I think John Ledger's going to get him. He does. But Joey Doucette wins the Indy 225 for his first win of the season. Ryan Pittman in second, and John Ledger beats out Luke Bullard for third by 1/100th of a second.
Let's go back and look at that finish. Watching John Ledger.
I mean, what a move by that 3 car, but I think William Mann Jr. gave John Ledger a little bit of a push, arrow push,
Just enough.
going down the front, just enough to be able to make his way onto the podium. And there's our winner, or that's our 3rd place runner, and our winner there.
A little bit of door tap. Oh!
Oh, what in the
That's
world
the
happened to
80.
Alonso?
He hit the barrel.
Can we get a replay of that really quick, or maybe after the burnouts? Because I think he may have hit that going full speed.
He may have. He may have. We're focusing right now on your winner. That's Joey Doucette. This is a long time coming for Joey.
Yeah, I mean, we saw his dominance last season, and we knew it was going to come, but when was it going to come for Mr. Doucette? Glad he was able to get a win. He's going to destroy this car. He doesn't care about it anymore. This car can be tossed. It's on to the next race, but he's locked into the playoffs. Finally, Rick. It's good to see that number 11 on the point. Here is your final race results for tonight's Tech for Troop Indy 225. Joey Doucette finishes in 1st, with Ryan Pittman in 2nd and John Ledger in 3rd. In 4th, Luke Bullard. 5th, William Mann Jr. 6th, Zach Ward, with Jeff Narron finishing in 7th. Stan Harrell finishing in 8th. Sean Skytman in 9th. And Christoph Hall finishes in 10th.
Harley Barletta finishes in 11th. Alonzo King in 12th. Charles Van Scoyk in 13th. Jesse Vaughn in 14th. Cody Sturgill in his debut finishes in 15th. Philip Vanderwick is in 16th. David Clayman in 17th. We've got Ty Bostic in 18th. In 19th, it's David Watts, and 20th, Grant Altizer.
In 21st, Jeff Nene. P. Woodrum in 22nd, Ian Ogden in 23rd, Colin Garrett 24th. Zach Allen finishes in 25th with Maurice Burnett in 26th. Evan Amick in 27th, Dan Windsor 28th, Mark Hanna in 29th, and Bobby Gibson in 30th. Vandemark, Walker, Hable, and Overstreet round out your 30th, 31st, 32nd, 34th, or 33rd and 34th position. Rick, let's see. Can we get John Ledger up here? He's going to be I think he may even be more excited than Joey Doucette to talk to us.
He may
it's been a long time coming, yeah.
John, congratulations on that podium finish.
Well, that was a tough one. How are you guys?
We're good. Man, we were pulling for you.
Yeah, I was definitely had a good car under me this week. Towards the end, it's like, do I block for Joey or do I try and force it? A lot of decisions to be made those last few laps.
Well, tell us a little about those restarts. I mean, you were definitely there. You had Ryan Pittman battling for a position with you the whole time.
Yeah, those restarts were tough and scary, especially the last two. I tried to get a good run on Joey to try and pass him, but I could never quite get the momentum going down. But I mean, it was good racing. I enjoy racing Joey. I enjoy racing Ryan. We had some good close racing, a little bit of rubbing.
Yeah, but it's all good. You guys were you were good together. It showed some good racecraft.
Yeah, I just want to take the moment to thank my teammates over at AGM. The iRacing Warrior guys. Everything you guys do for us. Definitely you guys in the broadcast booth. But I also want to thank the community at large. After my seizure last month, you guys rallied together, and I wouldn't be where I am without you guys.
Well, that's what we do here. So we, you're one of us. You're part of our family, both, here as part of Tech for Troops, but also part of the IWM family. And so, yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the race as much as I had running it.
We sure
Oh yeah,
did.
it was a good time. Good to see you up here in the booth, John. Glad you're up here talking with us. And couldn't be happier. Hopefully this has some momentum for you. Let's talk about that. Just one quick question. You finish in 3rd. What does this do going forward for momentum of potentially looking at getting your way into the playoffs?
Well, I intend to find my way to the playoffs no matter how I can. I will scratch and claw every point I can. The last 2 weeks have definitely turned everything in a good direction for me. I've got some good tracks coming up. Talladega's always a wild card, so that's going to be a crazy one.
All right. Any shout outs tonight?
Just everyone part of our community, definitely my teammates. I wouldn't be able to drive as well as I did without, them helping me.
Well, congratulations again on your P3 finish. And welcome Mr. Ryan Pittman. Congratulations on your P2 finish.
Hey, appreciate it. I really didn't think I'd be able to get up there.
I think you definitely felt yourself surrounded. We felt the heat from here.
Oh my gosh, dude. John, I know you're still in here. That was a lot of fun. There at the end. I mean, we kind of came together off of 2, and dude, I was like, oh god, because we started going towards the inside wall, and we just kind of linked together, you know. And no, that was hard fine racing. I didn't expect John to give me a whole lot of room. I was all cool with it, and we came out. So that was great. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great to see that, especially on these restarts have been hairy tonight, as we've often said that these cautions, breed more cautions, especially with, we have 30 plus drivers on these restarts. It's super easy to slip up, but yeah, it was great watching you guys battle in that restart.
Yeah, it was a little tricky. I kind of wish the fuel run was a little bit more, because right where the tires started to get a little bit slippy on the exit, that's where I kind of like it, where I feel like I can kind of outdrive some people, when it kind of starts to step out there just a little bit. And we just weren't able to get there because the fuel run was so short. By the time you got to that point, you were looking at pitting for tires and fuel.
Yeah, but there was no way to take advantage of that for sure.
Yeah. No, we had a blast. It was good.
Any shout outs tonight?
Oh, U-Haul Tech for Troops, 1111 Project, you guys in the booth, and Sean, we had a lot of fun. And everybody else here for kind of taking a reset. Seems like the last couple times, or last couple races, at least maybe the last 2, it seems like we've kind of reset just a little bit. And it seems like it's been pretty decent. So it's been fun, man.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again to your P2. And that ding you just heard is the entry of Joey Doucette, your winner, into the booth. Joey, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little while.
The All-Star race was the last one, right?
Right, the one. But I mean, what counts though?
Yeah,
as the
that is
points
true.
race. It's been a while.
It has been a minute. Take us through. We were just talking to both John and Ryan about the challenges of those restarts. You were out there front, but there was a lot of heat still being applied to you.
Yeah, them last I don't know. I think 4 restarts right there. Just try to jump it right and get in front of John there. My teammate, and after the start finish line, move up so I can get a little bit of draft there, and move down and try to get in front of Pittman. Try to get a 1-2 finish, but yeah, it was a lot. If we had one more green white checkered, I'd had to come down pit road, and that was the scary thing.
Well, we were looking at you guys all, pretty much, just so you know, the top top 3 pitted last on lap 67. Luke Bullard, who was in 4th, right there behind you guys, pitted last at lap 97. So he was ready to take advantage if there was another restart.
Yes, definitely. I was also worried about the guys with the new tires, but it showed during all those restarts everybody was on different strategy tonight, and some stayed out on old tires while some people came in, and it seemed like the old tires could hold off the new tires. So I took that into consideration and stayed out that last time, got the lead, and or got second behind David. And when David had no choice but to pit, I mean, I think it was all over from there. I don't think the new guys would have been able to catch us, but I mean, Luke got 4th, so congratulations to him. But
yeah, I think Ryan hit the nail on the head here. The fuel ran out long before the tires did, so that really changed up your strategy.
Yes, definitely. It was definitely a strategy call. I mean, I win most of these races anyways on fuel mileage, but no, this was just a good overall team win. I mean, it's been a while for even average Joes to get into victory lane, so I'm just happy that I could get this win for the team.
Absolutely, John. I and all the teammates out there with you. Joey. Great to see that. And let's talk about this really quick. First win of the regular season. What does this do going in, knowing you're going to be locked into the playoffs? What does this do to your mindset going into the next couple races? Rockingham, Old Atlanta, and Talladega. What's your mindset and strategy going forward?
Try to get more wins. Try to be consistent. I just locked myself into the playoffs here with this win, and just trying to get as many playoff points as I can, and basically survived them 3 races, and just more momentum. I mean, we look back last year, Castro won 4 in a row. It could happen to anybody, and could happen to Ryan, could happen to John. One win just leads into other wins or better finishes, hopefully. But it just never know. But I'm just really hoping I can just make it to the Final Four again and get that championship that eluded me last year.
Yep. I think you just gave yourself a subtle little hint that you want to win 4 in a row. I think that's what you're trying to tell everybody just there. 4 in a row. Hey, I didn't say it, you did. So you're calling your shots. But it's great talking with you, Joey. Rick, let's send it off. What a race. What a finish.
Any shout-outs, Joey, before we say goodnight?
1111 Veterans Project, IWM, you guys, U-Haul, Tech4Troops. If it wasn't for all these wonderful sponsors and you guys broadcasting every Wednesday night, it just gives us the comfortability as a vet to know that we're backed by vets, and there's a lot of vets in this group, and we appreciate all the sponsors that come in and provide this racing opportunity for us.
You got it. Well, there's your winner, Joey Doucette, here at Indianapolis in the Tech4Troops Indy 225. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great Wednesday night. Thank you all.